Good evening students. Today we are going to discuss about DNA replication. So already in the previous video we completed the basic structure of DNA. So now we are going to start with DNA replication. So the DNA replication scheme was studied by Watson and Crick. They only given the scheme for DNA replication and they told DNA replication actually it is semi-conservative mode of replication. What is semi-conservative mode of replication? First DNA replication, that is duplication of DNA. For example, if you take this is the DNA. You know, one strand is 5' to 3' means the other strand should be in 3' to 5' direction and both the strands are held together by hydrogen bonds. So in the DNA replication, so many enzymes are involving in DNA replication. So if you take first what is happening, we are going to take in detail. Just in this video we are going to take the outline of DNA replication. So for example, now if you take the outline, this is the parental DNA, double-stranded DNA. So first the double-stranded DNA broken into two single-stranded DNA. For example, if you take this strand is 5' to 3', the other strand should be 3' to 5'. So now this is parental DNA, this is also parental DNA. This parental DNA which is going to synthesize one new strand. So the new strand which could be in 3' to 5' direction. And if you take this is the parental DNA, this parental DNA is going to synthesize one new strand of DNA that which from 5' to 3' direction. So if you take this DNA, one is parental strand, the another one is new strand. If you take this DNA, one strand is parental strand, the another strand is new strand. So only DNA replication is semi-conservative. Semi-conservative in the sense they are conserving half of the information from the parental strand. So and you know DNA replication takes place in S phase of life cycle. So already in the cell cycle and cell division 11th chapter you studied the cell cycle. So what is S phase? If you take the cell cycle is divided. If you take the interphase, it was divided into G1 phase, S phase, G2 phase, then M phase. So the DNA replication which occurs in S phase of the cell cycle. So DNA replication occurs in all living organisms acting as the basis of biological inheritance. So DNA replication is the basis of biological inheritance. Okay, so these are the basic outline of DNA replication. So the semi-conservative mode of replication also experimentally proved by some scientists, Michelson and Stahl, and also Taylor. He proved the DNA replication is semi-conservative in Vixia faba. Michelson and Stahl, he proved DNA replication is semi-conservative in E. coli. So now we are going to take the detail of DNA replication. So in the first part we are going to take what are the enzymes involving in DNA replication. The machineries and enzymes involved in DNA replication. So what are the enzymes? Because enzymes are playing important role in DNA replication. So coming to the enzyme, first enzyme DNA helicase. So you know our DNA is double helical form. So this enzyme only used to break the double helical form into two single stranded form. So that we are going to take in the process of DNA replication also. So DNA helicase enzyme which is separate. So it separate double stranded DNA into single stranded DNA. So this is the role of DNA helix. Then if you take second enzyme DNA gyrase. Okay, the enzyme which is DNA gyrase. This DNA gyrase enzyme which comes under the class of topoisomerase enzyme. So this enzyme which is helping for example, if you just imagine the rope which is made up of many strings. If you immediately pull the string, what will happen? Still there is a tension. So there is a chance of coiling. So to reduce the tension between the two strands. So now the helicase enzyme already separated the two helical structure, but still there is a tension between the two helical structure. To reduce the tension, DNA gyrase which comes under the class topoisomerase enzyme. So this is helping to reduce the tension between two strands, reduce the tension between two strands. So this is also very important enzyme. Then another enzyme, single stranded binding proteins. This enzyme also further providing stability to the separated single stranded DNA. Okay, the next enzyme, very important enzyme. For example, if you take prokaryotics, DNA polymerase 1 and DNA polymerase 1 enzyme and DNA polymerase 3 enzyme. So these are the enzymes in prokaryotics. If you take eukaryotics, DNA polymerase, so this is in prokaryotes. Prokaryotes in the sense in bacteria. If you take eukaryotes, DNA polymerase alpha, beta, gamma, delta, epsilon. These are the enzymes which is helping that we are going to take in the process. So the next enzyme, you know very well, DNA ligase enzyme. DNA ligase enzyme. So ligase means it is a molecular glue. Wherever there is a requirement of joining process, this ligase enzyme which is helping. So, and we are going to take the detail of DNA polymerase 1, polymerase 2, polymerase 3 also. But DNA polymerase 2 enzyme, if you take DNA polymerase 2 enzyme, this enzyme is not playing that much role in DNA process, but it is helping for DNA repairing process. So this is helping for DNA repairing process. Suppose if any damage in the DNA, it should be repaired by DNA polymerase 2, but they are not, they are less reactive in replication process. So next we are going to take what is the role of DNA polymerase 1, DNA polymerase 3 in prokaryotics, and in eukaryotic enzyme also we are going to discuss in detail. So now we are going to take DNA polymerase 1 enzyme. This DNA polymerase 1 enzyme was discovered by Kornberg. Okay, so Kornberg. So this enzyme is also called as Kornberg enzymes. This enzyme is also called as Kornberg enzymes, and this enzyme, this actually it is helping for removing RNA primers. You know what is RNA primer? Anyway, we are going to take what is RNA primer also. This DNA polymerase 1 enzyme which is used to remove RNA primer, and the same time after removal there is a gap. So it is used to fill the gap also. Okay, so or it is used to remove RNA primer and the gap also filled by this DNA polymerase 1 enzyme, and moreover they are participating in repairing process also. Repair of damaged DNA. So this is DNA polymerase 1. And DNA polymerase 2 enzyme, already I told it is least reactive in replication process, but it is helpful in DNA repairing. So very important enzyme, DNA polymerase 3 enzyme. This DNA polymerase 3 enzyme is the main enzyme. So this is the main enzyme for DNA replication. This enzyme which is highly efficient, they only polymerize. Okay, they only add nucleotides. So they are helping in polymerization. Polymerization means addition of nucleotides. Okay, so if you take the speed of the enzyme is they add 2000 base per second. So they are very fast, and at the same time they are very accuracy also. So they polymerize 2000 base pairs per second. So it could be fast also, at the same time it should having accuracy also, because accuracy is very important. If any mistake happen in the DNA replication, it would leads to mutation. For example, if you take, you know, the genome of the E. coli. So if you take the total genome of the E. coli, that is 4.6 into 10 to the power 6 base pairs. But this amount of genome is replicated within 18 minutes. Okay, and another name also, the DNA polymerase 3 enzyme, which is also known as replicase enzyme. So these are the important enzymes which is main enzyme for DNA replication in prokaryotes. The next enzyme, one more enzyme, DNA primase enzyme. So the DNA primase enzyme which is used to which is used to synthesize primer. So what is primer? A primer is a short segment of RNA or DNA, a small segment of nucleotide. It may be DNA or RNA. For example, what we have taken in replication, so this is one parental strand, this is also parental strand, 5' to 3', 3' to 5'. Okay, both strands are first getting separated. For example, if you take this one 5' to 3' and this one is getting separated, this strand is 3' to 5'. For example, if you take the DNA polymerase 3 enzyme which is helping for polymerization, but to initiate the polymerization, because for example here nothing is there, so if you add short segment of nucleotide which is complementary to this base pair, what is present in the DNA, for example if you take here ATGC, so here we are adding short segment of complementary nucleotide. So for example, if it is RNA primer means then it could be UACG. So if we are providing the base, we are providing the initiation, okay, because here OH group is present. So this is 3' to 5' means the RNA primer should be added in 5' to 3' direction. So the 3' end which is providing the functional group. So now the polymerization will be takes place. So the RNA primer is nothing but a short segment, it may be 4 to 6 bases length of nucleotide, a short segment of RNA or DNA which is added to initiate the replication. So this enzyme also very important for DNA replication. So totally we discuss, once again we'll take all the enzyme. So first one DNA helicase enzyme, then DNA gyrase enzyme, then single stranded binding protein. Overall if you take these 3 enzymes, the 3 enzymes are helping for separation of the strand, at the same time it is helping for they are reducing the tension and they are providing the stability to the single stranded DNA, separated DNA. Then we have taken ligase enzyme. Ligase enzyme is used for joining. Then coming to the DNA polymerase, in prokaryotics DNA polymerase 1 and DNA polymerase 3. So but DNA polymerase 3 enzyme is the main. Coming to the eukaryotics, alpha, beta, gamma, delta, epsilon. So there are 5 units in the DNA polymerases. Then RNA primase, which is used to synthesize RNA primer, and RNA primer is finally removed by DNA polymerase 1. That also reason you know why we are removing RNA primer, because this is DNA. But anyway, in the process again we are going to discuss everything in detail, and these are the important enzymes which is playing the role in DNA replication process. So in the next video we are going to discuss the process of DNA replication.